Coming to you from South Florida, the Casey Ingram Show broadcasts from the heart of the Manatee Pocket, atop the Fish House District and a marina, Port Salerno's hidden gem. Now here's Casey Ingram Unleashed.
Sitting in the shadows, Ingram calls the shots. Speaking truth to power where the rebels lost. Forces rising, anger crackles through the air. Casey's beat unleashed, raising hell without a care.
Welcome to today's podcast, where we dive deep into the issues shaping our community, our environment, and our future. Today's episode is about something that affects every one of us here in Martin County, Florida. Whether you fish these waters, make a living off the river, or just enjoy the beauty of our coastal homes. We're talking about the health of the St. Lucie River, our community's lifeblood, and the ongoing battle against pollution from Lake Okeechobee discharges and harmful runoff. This isn't just an environmental issue. It's a fight for the soul of our town. Every time polluted water spills into our river system, it damages not only the ecosystem, but also our local economy, our health, and the natural beauty that defines life on the Treasure Coast. But here's the good news. People continue to step up. One of the most exciting efforts to raise awareness and take action is the Dirty River Jam, an event that brings together music lovers, activists, and community members to rally for cleaner water and support the incredible work of the Environmental Studies Council. And today, I'm honored to be joined by Jo Neeson, the organizer behind the Dirty River Jam. We'll talk about why this event matters, how it's helpful to fund crucial environmental education and advocacy, and what each of us can do to be a part of the solution. So whether you're listening on your way to work, out on the water, or just tuning in for the first time, this episode is for anyone who believes that clean water isn't a luxury, it is a right. But before we get started, I want to take a moment to dedicate this episode to someone who fought tirelessly for our waters, Kenny Hinkle Jr. Kenny was more than an environmental advocate. He was a true river warrior. His passion for protecting the St. Lucie River from pollution and harmful discharges from Lake Okeechobee was preeminent. He didn't just talk about the issues, he showed up, made noise, and inspired action. His passing just a couple weeks ago leaves a void in our community, but his legacy will continue to inspire us to fight for clean water and a healthier future. One of the events that Kenny was proud to be part of was the Dirty River Jam. So stay tuned, because this conversation isn't just about music or fundraising, it's about taking action to protect the lifeblood of our community. This one's for you, Kenny. And I welcome to the show Jo Neeson. This is this year's organizer of the Dirty River Jam. Appreciate that, Jo.
Yes, ma'am. Fifth one.
Jo is an Air Force veteran, retired hospice, respiratory nurse, small business owner, including Fredgie's Hot Dogs, Wet Dreams Pool and Spa Service, currently a pet sitter and dog walker. She's one of the founding members of River Warriors and Bull Sugar. She has dozens of fundraisers for locals in need, including the Indian River Keeper, Friends of the Everglades, etc. She sat on the board of directors of the Indian River Keeper for 10 years on the fundraising committee for Big Brothers, Big Sisters, helped found Tent Helpers with Tony and Stacy Solomon, and a big supporter of the Jensen Beach Christian Church Food Pantry, etc., etc. And let's face it, for those of us here in Martin County that really know Jo, I first asked her for her bio, qualified drinking, pot smoking, lesbian activist. There we go. That's our Jo Neeson. So we're here today. It sums it up. So we're here today to talk with Jo. You can tell already this is going to be a really fun event, the Dirty River Jam. All right, Jo, what was the inspiration for the creation of the Dirty River Jam?
Well, originally it was called the River Palooza, and it was Megan Remick and Darcy Flero, and for the life of me, I can't remember the other girl's name. And they did River Palooza. This was back in, I think, 2013. And then they did real well. They did it for the Rivers Coalition. And the next year, we wanted to do something again, but everybody was like, "Oh, that was so much work and all that." So I said, "Well, let's just rethink this." And so we started the Dirty River Jam. Our logo is actually done by Joyful Printing. She's a wonderful girl, and we gave her a break this year. We went with some other directions.
Awesome, awesome.
This year is different because working with the Environmental Studies Council means that they're part of the school system. And so instead of me just going around telling people what to do and getting away with it, I have to have a committee. So it's been a unique experience for me this time around. But they're very, very helpful. Everybody's great. And if you go to Martin County Schools, you go to that center. That's just part of what you do. That's how we learn about the water.
Right.
So it's very, very important that we keep them going. And this way, too, if we get enough people interested in following these guys, if it comes down to the Martin County School Board does something silly, like we can't imagine that could happen, but and decide that they don't want to fund it or they don't want it around anymore, then we've got a political voice to be able to go and say, yes, this is ours and we want it. So
It's so important to absolutely stay around. And Joe, how did somebody twist your arm to organizing it this year?
For some reason, I'm pretty articulate and I consider myself a very cunning linguist, but can't say no.
Well, and how long you've been fighting for the rivers?
Since, well, 50 plus years.
So there you go.
Yeah, I went to the first funeral for the river. The class of 1972 put it on, and I was the class of 1973, so long time.
So if you think about that, folks, and there's photos, you actually have the coffin for the river, and they reenacted it. What was it, in 2014?
We did that in,
15 maybe?
2016, I think.
Okay.
I don't remember, but yeah, we did another one, and I mean, I was actually a pallbearer there with Jackie Thurlow-Lippis and Don and Marty Baum and Don Boss, and I mean, it was, and Maggie
Bless
Hirschauer
their souls
was there,
as well.
All of our warriors that are gone before us, but Maggie Hirschauer is pretty much my inspiration for anything I've ever done. She was like my big sister, and she was on the board of county commissioners whenever I was a kid, and she started the comprehensive growth management plan.
She is. She absolutely was one of the very first writers of that, and a huge environmentalist in Mountain County, and also the sister Janet Reno.
Yeah, Janet. I was one of the last people who got to see Janet when we did a little fundraiser thing down there at her homestead, and she was a wonderful woman.
This Dirty River Jam, folks, it's really important. Joe was rattling off all these names, and most of them have gone. They've passed away, and we need to keep this fight up and make sure that it's still in the forefront. Our rivers are always at our forefront. It's the lifeblood of our community, and that's why these fundraising efforts are so important, because it's not an easy solution. If it was...
And that's why it's so important to keep the kids involved. If you teach them to love it, they're going to take care of it. You know, and kids in Martin County, historically, I mean, you don't ever see a kid from Martin County throwing trash on the ground. I mean, you just don't we don't do it. We know better than to do that. We treat things with respect. And back when I was a kid, we didn't have things like lawns, which to me, that's got to be the dumbest thing on the planet. Yeah. You pay money to put it in, you put poison all over it to kill all of the bugs, to kill all the birds, to kill everything that makes us be able to live. Then you've got to use fossil fuels that make all kinds of noise every morning of the year to cut it and everything. And you can't eat it. I mean, what do you do with it? I mean, what's the point? It's the dumbest thing ever.
And if you use native species, you could just let your lawn be.
Exactly. and
that's
really one of our biggest pollution problems. I mean, it just really, the discharges are horrible. Yes. But you put that on top of it, and it's like death knell.
It's everything. It's a cut of 1,000 slices, as they say. What message or experience do you hope attendees take away from the Dirty River Jam?
Well, I want them to just realize, first of all, that especially these new people coming in, that we have a very tight-knit community and we take care of each other. And that goes for our manatees and our dolphins and all of our little swimming friends and birds and everything. I mean, we're very, very community-oriented, and so we want you to see this is how we do things and this is how things go. And in the meantime, there's going to be all kinds of people there that are professionals and experts on what's going on with the water. And you can get a chance to ask some questions and find out what's going on and find out who you need to contact to be able to get involved. And there's so many organizations that are involved with fighting for the river that you can do just about anything. You know, Surfers for Autism, you've got the school, you've got the Ohana Surf Shop, you've got Rivers Coalition. I mean, just any way you want to volunteer, we got a place for you.
There's a ton of it. Let's talk a little bit more. When is the Dirty River Jam and where is it?
The Dirty River Jam is going to be Saturday, March 29th, and it's in the empty lot between Taco Tiki and Barbara's Produce in Jensen Beach. The address is on there. It's on Pineapple Boulevard.
We'll put that up on the video.
We did it there in 2019, and which I thought was going to be my last one. With COVID and all that,
Yep.
I dodged the bullet, and I thought that was over, but we're going to do it there. And it's a huge area, and Troy Pulley, that owns Taco Tiki, he's generously donating the cost of the stage, and he's paying for a couple of the bands that are coming from out of town, and they're going to have to be paid, and he's taking care of all that. Jonathan Mark is doing all of our sound and all of our lights and stuff, and we have all kinds of space for vendors. We have a bunch of space for vendors. And then on the backside of the Taco Tiki, there's a house that one of the girls that works there lives in, and in that backyard is where we're going to do our kids zone this year.
Oh, fun.
And key to music, Kelly Marsh, comes over every year, and she sets up a stage for live music for the kids. And all the kids that are taking music classes come in and they have their own concert. And we have face painting and fairy hair, and Mr. Bryan and the Bopettes are coming back out of retirement to do their rock and roll show. So it's a beautiful puppet show. If you never got a chance to see it, as soon as I find out what time they're going to be scheduled in, I'm going to blast that, because it's great for adults and everybody. They do a wonderful job.
This is going to be a lot of fun. 11 to 11 a.m., 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., Saturday, March 29th again. Steve Hunt, Vintage Radio, American Highway, One-Eyed Willie, Misty Mountaintop, the Led Zeppelin Experience. There's a silent auction, raffle prizes, of course, all the vendors that Joe just spoke about, food, live music. Bring your own cup and help reduce plastic waste.
Yeah, we'll have water stations, ice water stations set up throughout the festival. So bring your own cup, and that way we don't have to use plastic cups. I'm sure there'll be plastic cups used because of the restaurant and all that, but we're going to try our best to at least get the point across that we prefer you not do that.
That's right. That's right.
And this year we're doing something a little different. We have gotten so many amazing gifts donated that we're going to do a live auction at 6 o'clock.
Oh, fantastic.
And Drew Pittman's going to come out of retirement and come over and do our live auction. And like, for instance, Mark Johnson, our local artist, who's, as far as I'm concerned, he makes Guy Harvey look like a pauper. And he's doing a one-of-a-kind giant canvas it's going to be fabulous. And we got a $5,000 stand-up paddleboard from Flying Fish Paddleboards.
Nice.
We've got two $2,500 BMX competition bicycles. And we've got Rufus Wakeman from River Palms Cottages gave us 3 days, 2 nights, and he's going to do a full-day fishing excursion with him as the captain. We're going to throw in a gift certificate for Kyle G's and a gift certificate for Jan's for breakfast, so you get yourself a little staycation, and we're going to raffle that off, too.
Folks, that's just a few of the items. And if you want to donate something, of course, Joe, you're still taking donations.
Yeah, you can get it. I'm very easy to get a hold of. Any bathroom will have my... No. There's going to be flyers all over town. And if you're a vendor, just give us a call. On the Dirty River Jam site on Facebook, it gives you all the information. You can drop by the Environmental Study Center if you need something special. Don't drive them nuts, so they're kind of busy. And there's a bunch of ways. You can go to Taco Tiki. We're easy to find. So if you want to come out and help us, or volunteer, or just join in the fun, and we're going to have $5 cost to get in, and you get a wristband, so you can come and go all day. So if you bought one band and maybe want to do something else after that, and go back and forth to the kids section, all availability.
So $5 for everybody. Kids is the same thing.
Kids under 10 for free.
Are there, and they get to go to the kids zone again. So
and
that's
if you've got like 20 kids, please don't ever do that. But if you have a bunch of kids, come talk to us. If you want to bring your kids in here, we'll get you in there. Everybody's going to be welcome. That's not going to be a problem. And
it helps educate the kids about why it's so important to fight for our rivers. That's at 3340 Northeast Pineapple Avenue in Jensen Beach again. And tell us a little bit more about the vendor spaces. And there's the booth fees are $35.
The vendor spaces are 10 by 10. You bring your own tent and table or whatever, and it's $35. And we do ask that if you can do a donation of a raffle gift for a raffle. And we're going to have all kinds of great people out there. We got some amazing artists coming in. We've got some jewelry. We've got a lady that's doing vintage clothing. River Warriors is going to be selling their shirts, and we've got great shirts, for the River Jam that we'll be selling too. And there's just so much to do, and we've got plenty of space. So there's lots of vendors, because we've got space in the kids section, and we got that whole big lot all the way around the edges. Bring your own chair to sit in. You can bring an umbrella if you want. We ask that you don't bring coolers or outside drinks, and don't bring a big tent or something, because people are going to want to see.
Right, absolutely they are. And just to go over that again, the vendor details: booth fees $35. Bring a raffle donation. You're looking for something around $25 or more for the raffle donation. Setups at 11 a.m. and breakdown is after 7 p.m. You can also break down the following day by noon. If you need electricity, they can help you out there. Tents, tables, and chairs are not provided, so bring your own. But you know what? This is going to be a fantastic event. There's going to be thousands of people out there. Great way to support a great cause and get your business out there. So again, you can call Jo Neeson 69 at gmail.com. Jo Neeson, Neeson 69 at gmail.com, or 772-209-1040. And you can get a hold of Joe, and you will help them out for anything that they need.
Anything I can possibly do to help make this be a great success, and we're very grateful to all the people that always show up. And the minute I say I'm going to do this, my phone starts blowing up. People around here are so generous, and it's pretty easy to get things done.
Well, and Joe knows a lot of people. I'm sure most of you watching here this podcast today, you know, we all got a story.
I probably know you.
Exactly. Shh, don't tell those stories.
Go ahead.
Some fun ones, that's for sure.
Yeah, we've done some stuff.
What are the biggest challenges in organizing this event?
The enthusiasm of people, especially the new people that come in, and everybody's got a good idea. And a lot of times it's just you got too many ideas in that. But for the most part, it's a labor of love, and it's fun for the most part. I mean, I get to go around and visit people and give them flyers and get donations, and it's gotten to the point where I've done so many things like this that when I walk in, people either run and hide or they grab their wallet.
See your old friend KC and come on our podcast.
There you go. Yeah. Hey, KC, can I get on your podcast?
Exactly. We're gonna have Joe back too to talk about politics, but today's about the Dirty River Jam. She's just a lot of fun to talk to, and loads of experience. And by the way, thanks for your service, veteran as well. So, right now we're sitting here at the Fish House District and Marina. I'm looking out a beautiful window over the Manatee Pocket, and it's anchored by the Pearl. It's the new swanky hot spot serving up fresh seafood, craft cocktails, and an unforgettable vibe. You can explore the district. You can unwind by the water. Top it all off, you can have some ice cream at Captain Hook's. It's the best ice cream in Martin County. You can do some aerial yoga at the OM Shack. From laid-back days to lively nights, there is something for everyone. So come see what the buzz is all about at the Fish House District and Marina, and of course, anchored by the Pearl Restaurant. So tell me a little bit more, Joe. What are some of the favorite memories you have from past Dirty River Jams?
Well, for a while there, we had a dunk tank. And I went and got everybody that was running for office and talked them into getting into the dunk tank. And that went over real well. And as a matter of fact, there's an excellent picture of Kenny. He was in there with his face against the wall inside the water. And that's one of my favorite pictures from that. And it's so much fun. One year we had a chili cook-off, and Mike Flau put that together. And so, we're trying to throw something different in every time,
So why no dunk tank? There we go, this year, because that was a lot of fun.
Because I always end up getting in it, and then I'm soaked for the rest of the day. And it's just gotten so big that the space is an issue, and then it's security and all that kind of thing.
Right.
So, if you can get somebody that we've got some Karens around these days, and if they happen to get wet and slip or something, then here we go, we're off to the races. So.
It's a shame, but that's what our world has become of. So
you have to plan everything you do based on potential litigation,
potential lawsuits. That's exactly right. It takes the fun out of it,
I kind of try to push the envelope a little bit to keep it exciting.
You can guarantee that Joe will push the envelope. You'll want to go out there just to explore the day. Come out, say hi to Joe.
It's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. I learned that a long time ago.
That's true. That's true. I never announce that up front, right?
Yeah.
But afterwards, it's 100% right. Ask forgiveness, just do it. And what about how this organization and this particular event impact you personally?
Well, it's like I don't have a lot of high-profile stuff anyway, but people recognize me and people are grateful. They say, "Oh man, I had so much fun," or "I really enjoyed that band," or or "Man, those tacos were delicious." I mean, somebody always has something positive to say, and it's nice. I mean, it's hard for me because I have PTSD and my memory's not very good, so I'm terrible with names, and everybody knows me, and I feel bad when I don't know them back, but it's unfortunately part of what I have to go through. But it's just it warms my heart that people are so grateful. I mean, I just got a call last month from a woman named Joanne who does photography, and she's doing this Women of Wisdom over 50. Yes. And I'm like, I don't want my picture taken. She said, "Oh, come on, just get dressed nice and come over on Tuesday." So I put on a tuxedo and went and got my picture taken.
Oh, that's awesome. I saw that photo on Facebook. Actually, it was great.
It's funny.
Fantastic.
It's funny. Well, I don't photograph well. And I used to be, when I first started all this stuff, and as you know, I worked with the water issue, so I was constantly on the TV and speaking, and I used to hate it, and now it's like, hey man, what's going on? I just jump right in.
Not a big deal anymore.
It's not.
Let's talk about the political landscape over the years. That's just been challenging, over the last 50 years.
It's been ridiculous. I'm so thrilled with the fact that we're finally making some changes in Martin County, though. I mean, we had porn stash Doug forever, and he made everything a mess, you know. And it's things are turning around. We've got people that we finally could get elected, even though he pulled his shady stuff at the end.
Yeah.
And I think we just need to start getting some more accountability. I mean, I think we need to know what's going on. If it was up to me, we would do a forensic audit on everybody the first year after their first term. And every time afterwards.
Oh, amen to that.
Yeah, I mean, if you came in here and you're only making $174,000 a year or $70,000 a year or whatever you're making, depending upon your political position, and then all of a sudden in a couple of years you're buying $2 and $3 million houses, it's like, don't tell me there's not any corruption. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. There's no public servant. That's exactly right. There's corruption and kickbacks.
And it shouldn't be hard to get to talk to people that are your servants, you know. You know, to get an appointment and they're like, oh, I can't do this or I can't do that, or you got to bring so-and-so with you. I mean, it's like, you work for us. If I want to sit down and talk to you, you should sit down and talk to me.
Joe, 100%. I've heard that more than often than not here lately. I've got so many people calling me. I've called this representative or that elected official, and they won't talk to me. And it's like, but they work for you. Why not? It doesn't matter if you're.
I mean, granted, they're busy, and there's a lot of us, and only one or two of them. You know, I get that, but there's got to be a way. I mean,
yeah, there's got to be a way to schedule them in somehow.
And the key to, if you want your voice to be heard, the key is to get involved.
It is.
I don't really have any problems getting appointments and meetings with people because I help them with their campaigns. I go out, you know, if you get involved and you're part of the process, then you can be part of the process.
Right. That's 100% right. Well, Joe, I think this is a great overview of the Dirty River Jam. If there's anything I left out you wanted to cover, let's do it now.
No, just everybody come on out. Right now, we're still looking for more vendors because we got lots of space and we want to make sure everybody has a chance to come in there. Tell all your friends. Be sure to bring the kids. It's like a super, super fun day for the kids. As a matter of fact, Moose Brown called me yesterday, and if we can fit it, he's got an inflatable axe handle thing.
Oh, fun.
It's for the kids. So we're going to have all kinds of fun stuff for the kids. And just come on out and meet your neighbors and shake their hands and, you know, pick up some trash while you're walking into the place and pick up some trash when you're walking out of the place.
That's right.
If everybody that's watching this picks up 3 pieces of trash a day, it's going to make a big difference.
Makes a huge difference. You're absolutely right.
Please. And cigarette butts are trash, just so you know.
You are 100% right. They are not just discarded as an environmental addition to the earth here. All right, March 29th, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Dirty River Jam, benefiting the Environmental Studies Center. Again, Jo Neeson. You can reach her at joneeson69@gmail.com, 772-209-1040. And as we wrap up today's episode of the Dirty River Podcast, I want to leave you with something powerful. We've talked about the fight for clean water, the importance of the Dirty River Jam, and the legacy of those who've dedicated themselves to this cause. And one of the strongest voices in that fight was Kenny Hinkle, Jr. Kenny wasn't just an advocate, he was a force of nature. He stood up when others stayed silent. He fought for the river, for this community, and for all of us. And though he's no longer here, his voice still carries through the movement he helped build. So to close this episode, I want to share a moment from Kenny himself speaking at Dirty River Jam 9 years ago in 2016. His words remind us why this fight matters and why we must keep pushing forward. This is for you, Kenny. The fight isn't over, and thanks to river warriors like Jo Neeson that have led the way and continue to fight for our river, we can say, rest easy, my friend. We'll continue to take it from here, and sincerely, Jo Neeson, thank you for your decades, and I mean decades, folks, of passion and commitment. Be sure to reach out to her, joneeson69@gmail.com, to help out. This is Casey Ingram, a voice that won't be silenced, lighting the fire of truth. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe to the podcast and stay tuned, as more conversations that matter will happen. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and never stop questioning. Thank you, Jo Neeson.
Thanks.
My name's Kenny Hinkle with Bull Sugar. We are dedicated to stopping these Lake Okeechobee discharges, destroying our river and our lagoon. All right. We're 77,000 strong on Facebook right now. The website's coming. Membership drive's going to be coming. We have all the science. We have all the hydrology. We have all the engineering. We know what needs to be done. We need land south of the lake. We need to buy this land, send the water to Florida Bay where they're dying from hypersalinity because they can't get the water dumping out my river. So we need to hold the politicians accountable. We need to vote. If you're not registered to vote, we can register you. We're third-party registers right out there in the back. Come to the Bull Sugar tent and get registered and make sure you know who you're voting for and know why you're voting. This has to end. What are we going to leave our children and their children? You know, I'm 47. Even if we bought this land right now, it's not going to see it in my lifetime. But my daughter will. My 13-year-old daughter will, and her kids will. And I'm proud to live here. I'm proud of my community. I've been out there, I've bagged oysters before the oceanographic. I've deployed reef balls from Jensen Beach High School where they molded them, and I helped carry these big, heavy-ass reef balls and deployed them all around the Riverwalk in downtown Stewart by the Roosevelt Bridge. But none of that did a damn bit of good because we've had 110 billion gallons from Lake Okeechobee dumped in my river this year, just this year. Enough to cover the city of Stewart and 60-plus feet of water. So what do we have to do? We have to vote. And we have to encourage all our politicians to buy the land and send the water south. Thank you.